Hello, good morning. Today we would like to continue where we left off this Energy Hero game. Actually, this is more than a game for me right now because I plan to finish this game about around 20 days, and right now I'm in the 63 day 63, and this game will still take some time from me, from this development, but it gave me a beautiful lesson. It gives me a beautiful lesson that I shouldn't use the packages, third-party packages that I do not know in depth. This is the my main lesson that I took from this game, that took from this project, and even the project seems taking much time. I want to finish it in anyway. That's why right, let's just continue. Let's just dive into where we left off. And yesterday we managed to continue some parts, and I managed to completely remove this third-party package from this chapter 1, and right now I will continue on removing the behavior tree from chapter 2. So let's begin, and let's try to start with playtesting this chapter 2 and see what kind of errors we are facing right now. Okay, the first problem is that when I load this chapter 2, even I press this button, this next button, game does not, game still works on this button. From the game still calls the script from the chapter 1 GUI. Let's first investigate this part, why this issue happens. I just added these two lines to check that if this on enable and on disable really working. Disable, yes. How about adding a next button on? How about this? Move all listeners. Disable. Still the same problem. Okay, this is promising. However, why this? We state in and which text number? Loaded text, and okay, something is wrong with this. Twin component object reference load text value. Which text number 0? This is called load tutorial text, and this. Okay, something is wrong with here. And load text value is null. This is coming null. Set load text value. Loaded text. This should not be null. Tutorial. Okay. How about if x number equals 0, let's set it to 1. If text number, this should resolve the issue. Here 2. Chapter loader. Green tutorial state. And when the green tutorial state, it tries to call this. Okay, something is wrong with this section. Also, null, tutorial text. Loaded text. Chapter loader, okay. Chapter 2, green chapter loader, this, and goes to speak text here. Then this changes the GUI to tutorial state. And after that, I receive this error. Or change GUI state. Okay, load GUI state from manager. Load GUI state from manager. If next number equals 0, then change GUI state to tutorial. Else state to welcome. Here is the manager. From manager. If I call this from the manager, I should not call this enable, or this should be called inside enable. And okay, save manager should not be responsible for this, but I still have this iChapter loader error. We in this current state, and then this exception is happening. Why? Okay. When I try to load it, this error is called load text fields. So during chemical, this one is better. Alright, now let's start by exploring. Continue to chapter 2. Change enzyme. What if I want to return back to chapter 1? No error. Okay, so far so good. Go to chapter 2 or go back. So change weapon. Get attached object. And also the slider doesn't start working. And this is good, I guess. I managed to overcome this issue, overcome this level start issue about this text loading section, and I managed to get into the playing section, in play section, game in play section, and this is really an amazing thing for me. So how about let's reload this chapter 2. Yes, I have this red button, but I will handle this one in the future. Okay, when I press the next button, is in player state. If is in player state, it should start on first. It should be started when the first input is pressed. First input is pressed, triggered once, twice, triggered twice. It doesn't matter. So let's. I needed to chapter 2 GUI. Chapter 2 GUI. This thing needed to go and find this slider. Find my timer slider. Slider. Find object of type, not slider but timer slider. Then get value dropping to true. Next, and this value dropping has started, right? Yes. And when this is started, player needed to go and find the digest. Okay, red digest, no. Yellow digest, no. Digest, yes. Yes. Okay, this session seems over. The things that are missing right now is when I digest something, a pop-up section should appear above the player, and in addition to this, on level and positive and in level and positive and level and negative sections are not appeared or are not working correctly. By the way, I managed to overcome this issue. Let's remove it. But in chapter 2, on level and positive and level and negative is not working. Also the pop-up sections are also not working. This is my task for tomorrow morning, and today was a good day. I can easily say it. Today was a good day, and tomorrow maybe I will finish this chapter 2 remaking. I will manage to remove this behavior tree from my chapter 2, and tomorrow morning I hope that my chapter 3 will be I will start working on this logic of chapter 3. So that's all for today, and hope to see you in tomorrow morning, and have a great day. Have a nice day. Bye.